Good evening. Hello, everybody. Hello, Basil. As you see, I'm such a professional there that I muted desktop audio instead of unmuting my microphone. Professional. How are we all this fine evening? Are you feeling better, Baz? I was feeling a bit ooh earlier, but honestly, Dario G. Who'da thunk it? Who'da thunk it? Well, I am a basic 90s bitch, so maybe you'd all have thunk it. Little nap and Dario G, just what the doctor ordered. Oh, still, I say we made it Friday. I've got overtime later. Gonna get up at 2 a.m. Well, so we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna go back to bed. Then I'm gonna get up at 2 a.m. Gonna do the overtime, and then I'm gonna go back to bed again. It's fine. It's fine. Will the overtime even fix the problem that apparently is happening? Who knows? I don't understand it myself, but there you go. Right. Are we ready for a video game? I think we are, probably. But then this is quite... They're all just lovely, nice teams. Right. Let's hit that button. That button. There we go. Hello, Wick. Why did I stop? Why did I just freeze my mouth as you came in? Hello, Rick. How are you? Welcome in. We are getting ready to play a video game. I've also got a notebook for putting notes in case we need them, like the bloody drum code and the other thing as well. So that's nice. I've also got this. This arrived in t-shirt form today as well. I'm very proud of that. I'm very chuffed. If you're not following Small Robots on the Twitter, and I do hope that maybe they come over to Mastodon instance, but they're a wonderful creator. And this sticker keeps peeling off. I haven't even touched it yet. Also, got a load of stuff through from Redbubble. Got my Gender Meowster Handsome Neffer mug. And stuck a little cat hug sticker on it, but the sticker keeps trying to peel off the mug. I'll fill this with coffee at 2 in the morning. Right, where are we? We're going to load a game. We're gonna load session 2. Now, as I remember from last time, I think we'd clicked on everything here, and we talked through everything with Dr. John. So I believe now we should have more things on the map, but mostly what we should
Goodbye,
have.
Dr. John.
Goodbye, Mr. Knight.
Yes, we have the Moonbeam Residence. We have the San Luis Cemetery on the map. So we got a few more things on the map. But we've also got the Gedder Mansion. And I think we've got everything we need. Well, basically, we only needed the police badge to get in here, right? So let's have a look. Let's describe some things, like roses.
Potted roses mark the entrance to the house.
He used to bring me roses.
Gabriel didn't come here to mess with the plants.
Oh, fine.
Perfectly groomed hedges run along the front of the porch.
We got roses, we got hedges, we got a mansion.
The Garden District is famous for its elaborate old plantation homes and mansions. This particular mansion is impeccably groomed.
They keep using the word groom or groomed to imply that maybe Gabe is a scruffy bugger. Hello, Ray. Welcome.
The Garden District is famous.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure. Windows Mansion. Then we got the. Let's look at some
The
trees.
huge trees bear beards of Spanish moss.
Spanish moss beards.
The windows are made of thick, heavy glass. The only thing Gabriel can see inside is even thicker drapery.
And even thicker than that, Gabe.
Tall, narrow shutters provide beauty and protection.
All right, let's knock on the door and see how rude and condescending this butler is.
May I help you?
What a wonderful butler. He's so violent.
The man looks intellectual, polished, and impervious. He gazes at Gabriel with a superior eye.
Wow.
Gabriel wonders if he's Malia's secretary, bodyguard, butler, or something more personal.
Is that all you can ever think of, Gabe?
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please.
I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
Okay, so we could say all of these things, but we know it's not. Let's,
I do have official business.
Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
Boo boo boo. Let us select the appropriate item.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business.
Ding 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 ding.
How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty.
Again, they had Tim Curry do the voice of the butler in the original, and he was brilliant and perfect stuck-up British butler.
Miss Getty will see you. Right this way.
This is what is it? Nothing.
Miss Getty will be down shortly.
Wrong sounding Muppets. Waka waka.
Thank you.
Still high quality. Sit down. No, I'm gonna have a little nose about. Hello, you. Would you like to be turned into a rug for the floor? Of course you wouldn't. No. Yet you behave like you would.
What can I do for you, Detective?
Yes, hello. We know you're adorable. Right, while she's sitting there across from me, I'm just gonna look at everything else.
The only thing Gabriel's likely to burn here is his bridges.
Ha ha! Very good.
Beautiful women. They must be relatives.
They are.
What else we got to look at?
Harvard classics. Homer, Virgil. Maybe Malia wouldn't be impressed by a signed copy of one of Gabriel's novels.
No. Honestly, give her a signed copy of your own novel. That would be funny.
Modern art?
More or less. It's a Picasso.
Picasso. No, that's not how that song goes.
Nice statue. I like it.
Thank you. It's The Rebellious Slave by Michelangelo.
Wow, you're very rich to have Michelangelo and Picasso.
Ming Dynasty, perhaps? The side table probably costs more than Gabriel's shop. Genuine lion skin.
I can imagine doing things on that rug.
Excuse me?
Oh, nothing.
You said that out loud, Gabe. What have we told you about your inner voice versus your outer voice? Hello, Art. How you doing? Oh, dear. Right. Okay, let's talk to Malia Getty, shall we?
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
All right. The least sexy voice in the world.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced.
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh?
He's got that
Well,
bit
I
right.
can see that your imagination is considerable.
It's only known for its imagination in making up crimes.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
And yes, as ever, Gabe is going.
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now.
Gabe! And it is like, basically, the actor managed to master Narlins and gave up after that, right? Like, we need you to play someone. They're from New Orleans. They're, you know, they're kind of they're young, they're sexy. Oh, New Orleans. Okay, got the character. It's like, no, there's more to it than that. Listen to Tim Curry. Listen to how he says, voodoo. I might be throwing more onto it. The memory cheats and all. Anyway, right. Snakes. Snakes.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I'm no expert. I don't fear them like most people do.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What do you know about Marie Laveau?
I've heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
I mean, she's just going to give these shortcut answers because she's hiding the fact she's secretly in a thing with a thing and a... You remember the plot.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Caux means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am.
You don't know because you never learnt French, even though you've lived in New Orleans all your life.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? I don't know what you mean.
Oh, no. You know what I was reaching for, and there are some CDs in the way. Count yourselves lucky.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art.
Oh, but
If
I
you
would.
look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Okay, Rick, yes, you are absolutely 100% right. But you're also forgetting that Malia Getty is rich. Very rich. And has buffers of protection. that the likes of you and I do not have. But absolutely, never talk to the cops without a liar. They're all little fuckers.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
Oh, I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you, or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large extended family.
I see.
Talking of ACAB as well, Art sent me a link the other day with for a t-shirt that I was tempted to buy, but also it's like I looked at my bank account the other day and went, okay, I've got this to last me through for the next like couple of weeks. Yeah, maybe not. And it was a t-shirt design of a picture of a taxi cab, New York style yellow taxi cab, and across the top it said a cab. It is. I was very tempted, but I was like, the base price on it was $27, and then I'd have to pay the shipping and stuff, and I was like, ah. And the license plate says 1312. Oh yes, nice. ACAB, brilliant. I didn't grok that bit. So yeah, no. But I did get my T-shirt today. Of talking of expensive T-shirts, because Redbubble T-shirts are kind of expensive. But I got my point and click bot T-shirt today. Oh, there's a cat in there as well. I didn't grok that bit either. I was just chuckling. I might have been looking on the phone, so it was. But yeah, thanks for that. I'll dig that out and drop that in the Discord. You sent it to me for the cat, and I didn't even see the cat. Anyway, let's see how badly Gabe fucks up. Is there a Mr. Getty?
Do you have a husband, boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
Oh yeah, throw your hands up
So
out.
you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
Alright, here we go. Let's just repeatedly ask, tell me anything.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh, why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
Nice for that. Haha, what? Those sub morals, nice. Let's just keep going. Just tell me anything. You're the worst date, Gabe.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
I mean, imagine going on a date with someone and they just sit there going, I just want to hear anything. I just want to hear anything. Like, after a while, you'd be like, you're weird and creepy. Please leave my house.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I have few friends. A woman in my position can't really afford them.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I try to stay away from the media as much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Jr. and I. Phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to keep my private life private. I would appreciate it if you'd keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course.
Right, there we go. We've exhausted that one. I'd like to hear anything. I'd like to hear anything. It's like, if you want to hear anything, I can give you some recommendations of podcasts, buddy.
I wouldn't know where to begin.
As you wish, Detective.
Anyway, where were we? Let's, no.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could. But I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake. And I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
So, what's usual for you at the lake? Huh? Maybe it's unusual for anyone else. Yes, hello. Hi. Yes, you're a pest. I love you, but you're a pest. Well, it's highlighted in yellow. Let's...
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that, I'd make a fortune.
Thank you, Detective. That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job.
Right, folks. What do we reckon to that flirting? Was that a good flirt? Does that work? I'm taking notes just in case I ever steal a policeman's badge and break my way into a beautiful woman's house. Art says no. Ray says no. Right, let's see. Let's try another flirt.
I can't help noticing that you're in incredible shape, Miss Getty. Your legs are so strong.
Oh, fuck it, hell, it's JR.
Do you work out at one of the clubs by the lake?
Well, Detective, I do enjoy
Oh,
physical
man.
activity.
Oh, me too.
Actually, I was referring to swimming and modern dance. I can't say that I do much exercising at the lake, though.
Ah, well, it was worth asking.
I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Achievement unlocked. Southern
me?
Charmer.
Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
You didn't guess
Well,
already?
I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this
Oh,
before.
like, fuck you haven't.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out. Robert,
I've never done anything like this before. Yes, you have.
show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
I mean, yes, they definitely have
Thank you
coded
very
the big
much.
boobies.
I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
Right, time to save game for a start. Okay, well, your bum's in the way. Right, there we go. Looking respectfully. I had a thought in my head and it's gone. It was about Gabe being a perv, obviously. And obviously it's not that important, is it? Gabe perv, indeed. Oh yeah, no, that was it. on the flirting lines there with the legs. It was like it's time to get ready to press the button. As you may or may not know, over the past few years, I have been watching AEW professional wrestling, All Elite Wrestling, and they did manage to get Jim Ross, the Hall of Fame voice of wrestling, as one of their commentators. But he is an old man, and he's got some annoying tendencies, particularly when it comes to the women's wrestling. Like, he's got no other adjective for the heel women other than Jezebel. She's a Jezebel. And it's like, can you not think of any other words for the heel women other than Jezebel? But the really weird one is when he gets like really pervy about, she's got such strong legs. And it's like, Jesus Christ, look, JR, I'd like to get between those legs as well, but I don't have a microphone on national television. If I did, I wouldn't be like, oh, she's got those strong legs. But then, oh no, indeed. He can be the worst at times. But then, but then there'll be calls like when MJF turned on Cody, he was like, you little bastard, what you gonna do that for? And it was like the perfect call, and that's why you have him. Right, I got a text there, which is bollocks. Your package is waiting. And it's like, oh, but you're going to pay customs. Yeah, the bollocks on that one then. Right, anyway, I get to press the button.
I represent power. Unbridled power.
Fucking Nyla Rose, yes. It was spam. It was a spam text. Right. Thank you, Orko. Not ma'am. Spam, not ma'am. It's one of the texts that sometimes ma'am will do. I had this text, right? It's like, yeah, it's nonsense. Oh, I thought it was. It's like, it's hello. You're getting hairs all over my nice new mechanical keyboard. You're the worst. You're the worst. Pushing my microphone out the way. Right. Back to the French Quarter. We've got some new locations to visit. Shall we go to the cemetery? Of course.
St. Louis Cemetery No. 1 is one of the most historic and beautiful places in the quarter.
It's going to be said, I thought the bite noise was cat purring. I mean, he's trying. See it, Orko, at least purr on camera. You weirdo. Right, let's talk to the watchman.
An old man tends the cemetery with movements akin to a slow draw.
I'm sorry to bother you.
You got something to say, son?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
They say it was part of an old religion from Africa, brought here by slaves.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Isn't it just awful, them finding those bodies with the voodoo things around them? I don't think there's any real voodoo going on. Somebody trying to cover their tracks is all.
Okay. What else can you tell me about voodoo?
What can you tell me about voodoo?
I don't really care to talk about it. I don't do it none myself.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
I told you all I know about that.
Right, get it off there? Yeah, cool. Tell me about the town I've lived in all my life.
What can you tell me about Narlins?
Seem like everyone wants to visit Narlins at least once in their lives. And they love the cemetery tours. I see tourists in here every day of the year.
Yes, I was after a can of pop. And while I was at it, some fudge. There's not, no. Look, I know I do refer to you as my child, but you're not actually my child. So the tagline, that he's fucked off. He's fucked off while I was talking to him. Just like a child. Anyway, for those who remember the jingle from the advert, a finger of fudge is just enough to give your kids a treat. You're my real dad. Alright, I'm going to munch this and stream while we press buttons.
What can you tell me about Gnarling?
There lots of things to see here, but none as beautiful as St. Louis Cemetery number 1.
What can you tell me about Gnarling?
If you want to know more, you should ask someone else.
Do you know anything about snakes?
Snakes? I see snakes around here all the time. Most of them aren't poisonous, of course. I don't mind snakes myself, but lots of folks are afraid of them.
Do you know anything about snakes?
I told you all I know about that.
It's like, why can they have at least recorded line dialogue that's like, what else do you know about snakes? Again, I've got a feeling that they probably spent a lot of the budget on the 3D rendering and not enough on the voice cast.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Well, St. John the Baptist is the patron saint of voodoo.
Hoodoo?
Sometimes we get weird goings-on in the cemetery on that night. More often on a few nights before. People taking grave dirt, bones, and who know what.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yep. Don't know what they do with them, but it can be pretty.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
I told you all I know about that.
Do you have any idea what Capri San Call means?
Nope. Can't say that I do.
Have you ever thought of, like, getting a French to English dictionary, Gabe?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooian and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leave offerings. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from that voodoo museum,